Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this page or this channel, then please subscribe and become part of this family. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and commenting on my videos. I do enjoy reading all the comments. God bless all of you. So on today's menu we have Banku and Okro Stew. I love this dish so much. I don't get to cook it a lot because nobody in my family likes it. But when I do get a chance, trust me, I go all out. So today, I am quite excited to share my recipe with you. It's a pretty simple dish, not complicated. So if you'd like to see how I make mine, then please stay tuned. So we're going to start with the ingredients. I've got crabs. This you can get from any African or Afro-Caribbean store. I'll go Wele. I got this one from Ghana. I've got goat meats. This one is shaki. I got from the meat store. I've got cow foot and mackerel in tomato sauce. I have my this is blended garlic and ginger, and I've got my spices and stock cubes as well. I have here some tomato puree. I've got mackerel, ginger, onions and pepper, and I've got the corn dough and the cassava dough and my okra, of course, and I've got Koobi as well, salted tilapia, which I forgot to mention. So these are all the ingredients. So let's begin. I'm going to start by putting the meat and all the hard stuff in first. So the cow foot and the meat and the wele, they're all going to go in, and I'm going to add my spices to steam it just so that it can taste nice. So I'm going to put everything together and add a little bit of water to steam it. So I'm going to cover it up and let it steam for a little bit. So after about 10 minutes, it's been steaming, and I'm gonna just stir it to see if it's okay, and I'll leave it on for a little bit. So now I'm going to start preparing my tomato sauce for the stew. I'm going to be using palm oil, and I'm going to be starting by frying my salted tilapia in the oil first, and then I'll blend the onion, the pepper and the ginger together, and then I'll add it to the oil. So I'm going to leave this to thoroughly cook for about 10 minutes. And with the oil, you can use normal cooking oil if that's what you have, but I just chose to use palm oil this time. Sometimes I use normal cooking oil. So at this point, the meat is very well cooked, so I'm adding my mackerel to it. I added the mackerel late just so that it doesn't break. And then for the stew, as you can see, is cooking well because the oil is beginning to gather at the top, and once the oil is at the top, you know that it's cooking. So I'm adding my tomato puree at this point, and I'm going to leave that to cook for about 5 minutes as well, actually for about 10 minutes, because the tomato puree needs to cook well, else you're gonna taste the tomato, and I don't like to taste tomato in my stew. So whilst that's cooking, I'm going to be blending my okra. Some people prefer to chop it. I was not in the mood to do all this chopping because there was quite a lot of okra, so I decided to go the easy route by just using the blender to do that for me. Pretty much just pressing it bit by bit. You don't go and over blend it, else you're gonna have a puree of tomato okra. So you just press it bit by bit, and then it will just basically chop it up nicely for you as it's done here. But if you like the chunky okra, then by all means you can use the knife to manually slice it or chop it, dice it up or whatever. So now the tomato puree is well cooked, and there's oil at the top, so obviously it tells you that you are making progress. So I'm going to add my chopped tomatoes at this point and leave it to simmer. So it's been cooking for about 15 minutes, so I'm going to now add it to the meat sauce. So I've added the tomatoes to my meat the fish and everything. And I'm going to leave it to simmer for a bit on medium heat. Make sure that your heat is not too high. And I'm going to add the mackerel in tomato sauce just for flavor. It just gives a very nice aroma, and that's what I love about it. So I'm going to leave this to simmer for a bit and then turn to my okra. So at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of water to the okra and let it boil. But before I do that, I need to add a kanu, or we call it a can. If you don't have it, you can use bicarbonate of soda. And the reason for this is to keep the okra slimy, because if you don't add it, okra has a tendency to cut, or we call it a chap, as in it will stop being slimy, it will no longer be slimy. So if you add this to it, it will keep it nice and slimy for when you're enjoying your banku, if you know what I mean. So now my stew is been simmering for a bit, and so the last thing to go in is the crab. I didn't want to add the crab in too early because I didn't want it to overcook. So it is the last thing to go in. And also I'm going to add some powdered shrimp just for the flavor. And yeah, so I've added 2 tablespoons of powdered shrimp to my stew as well. You don't have to, it's optional, but I just love the smell, the aroma it gives to the whole meal. So as soon as my okra comes to a boil, it is ready to transfer and add it onto the stew. As you can see, I'm pouring everything in. I'm going to give it a gentle stir and just leave it to simmer on very, very low heat. I'm going to leave it to simmer. It's pretty much done at this point. So leave it on low heat to simmer whilst I prepare the banku. So right now I'm mixing the corn dough and the cassava dough together. I think they were about 500 grams each. So yeah, so I mixed both together, and in order for me to have a very smooth banku, I prefer to use the hand blender to just mix everything together, because sometimes they can have some chunky bits in there, with the corn dough and the cassava dough. Both of them can have chunky bits, and I prefer to have it smooth. That's why I use the hand blender. And obviously you need to add your salt to taste. So I'm going to now have it on a high heat, and then I'm going to start mixing the banku together. So I had to forward this process because it's quite long. So the banku is done, my stew is done. Oh my god, it looks so good, and it tastes so good as well. My whole house is filled with this beautiful, tasty aroma. I wish you'd be here to smell it. So right now, everything is done, and we're going to serve. This is a pretty simple dish. I love cooking this, but like I said, nobody in my family eats banku and okra apart from me. So it's not something I cook often, but when I do, I always have to make sure I have somebody I'm sharing with. So on this occasion, I was sharing this banku with my auntie, and that is why it was a lot. So yeah, this is pretty much done. I hope you enjoyed this video, and most importantly, I hope I inspired you to get into the kitchen and start cooking. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate all the love, and especially the comments. I always enjoy reading them. I have more videos coming up soon. Thank you so much.